Amy Brown is an American reality television personality who rose to fame as the matriarch of the Brown family in the Discovery Channel original series Alaskan Bush People. The show followed Billy Brown, his wife Amy, and their 7 children as they live, some would say survive, in the Alaskan wilderness, away from society, mostly away from the comforts of a modern life, which includes basic utilities as well as advanced technology. Filmed as a documentary reality drama series, Alaskan Bush People is set in the remote regions outside of Hoona, Alaska, where the Brown family lived by fending for themselves with old, traditional methods such as hunting, trapping, and lodging. The series proved to be popular among Discovery Channel's viewers, eventually gathering an extensive following. With the show's popularity unquestioned, the series continued to air for 14 seasons, the latest of which premiered in October 2022. While the show is known for dramatizing somewhat the daily difficulties and struggles of the Brown family's off-grid lifestyle, the Browns nonetheless faced considerable turmoil through the years, but the most recent tragedy to devastate the family might be the worst they've experienced in years. Of course, the loss of family patriarch Billy would shatter the Brown family, but it also has fans questioning the future of Alaskan Bush People. Might this be the end of a long-running success, or will the show go on? To make matters even worse, Amy, the surviving widow and matriarch of the family, fell ill in 2017, the diagnosis of which turned out to be cancer. At the time, regular viewers and followers of Alaskan Bush People were concerned for Amy's future. With people eager to know how she's holding up since the passing of her husband on the 7th of February 2021, we'll take a closer look at how Amy is doing. Born on the 28th of August 1964 in Fort Worth, Texas, USA, the youngest daughter of Eugene and Earlene Branson, Amora Amy Lorene's early life remains somewhat shrouded in mystery. However, while few details of her early life are known to the public, Amy did share a few tragic experiences of her childhood. According to the reality star, she endured many difficulties which included abuse at the hands of her father Eugene. Amy's closest relatives, namely her brother Les Branson, have since denied Amy's claims, stating that she was the spoiled younger sibling in the family and that their parents never mistreated him or Amy. Although Amy's accusations are being questioned, it remains clear that to her, she had a difficult childhood. And according to her, she ran away from home at the age of 15, around which time she met Billy. No information is available about Amy's educational background. She met Billy during the late 70s, back when he still owned and operated a private plumbing firm. The first time was when he performed services at her family home, and according to Amy, it was love at first sight. Not long after their initial introduction, Amy ran away with Billy and tied the knot with him in 1979. Billy, being 9 years her senior, was 24, and while this might sound scandalous, it wasn't an uncommon practice in Texas during that era. Billy and Amy lived in Fort Worth during the first couple of years of their union, as Billy continued to operate his plumbing business. But as time passed, the couple grew restless and hungered for adventure outside of conventional life in Texas. Driven by their lust for excitement, Billy and Amy packed their bags into a van and traveled around the states for the next decade. During this time, Amy gave birth to their first son, Matthew Jeremiah Matt, in September 1982. They welcomed their second child, Joshua Bam Bam, into the world in September 1984. 2 years after Joshua's birth, the couple sold their van and moved to Alaska, where they settled outside of the town of Wrangell. But while they may have been enjoying the freedom of their lifestyle, the family suffered financially. This forced Billy to work odd labor jobs for the first couple of years in Alaska, meaning that Billy often had to spend months away from home. Then, during their first Alaskan winter, Billy, Amy, and their 2 sons ended up stranded on Massman Island, where they struggled for survival for 18 months before eventually being rescued and returned to the town of Port Protection. While it might have been a traumatic experience for most people, the difficulties Billy and his family endured convinced them that they could easily survive the Alaskan wilderness. Hungry for adventure and eager to step away from the common lifestyle of society, Billy decided to move his family to the outskirts of Hoona, where they would begin to live a self-sustained life. As time passed, Billy and Amy welcomed the remainder of their children into the world. Solomon Isaiah Freedom Bear entered the world in 1987, followed by Gabriel Starbuck, Gabe, in 1989, and Noah Dark Cloud in 1992. In 1994, Amy gave birth to the couple's first daughter, Amora Jane Snowbird Birdie, and in 2002, their youngest child, daughter Merry Christmas Catherine Raindrop Rainey. In 2014, the Brown family's lifestyle attracted the interest of reality television, and soon they had their own dedicated series on Discovery Channel. While the show has been called out for often being overdramatic and allegedly scripted, some of the difficulties depicted in the show certainly can't be faked. Aside from the regular turmoil, this also includes Amy's lung cancer diagnosis in 2016. Shortly after news broke of Amy's illness, her condition worsened, and she was eventually hospitalized in UCLA and subsequently underwent numerous chemotherapy treatments, though the family appeared helpless about Amy's future. Fans of Alaskan Bush people were devastated by the news, but thankfully, Amy survived the ordeal and in 2018 was miraculously declared cancer-free. With fans and the tabloids claiming that the show is heavily scripted, people took to social media to express their doubts about Amy's cancer diagnosis. Some even said that they knew she wouldn't die because everything about the show is fake. Unfortunately for most of the skeptics, and sad as it might be that people had to go to such lengths, Amy's doctors responded to the media backlash with substantial medical records and proof of Amy's illness, ultimately debunking the negative conspiracy theory. Following this, Amy gained a lot of attention in the media due to her past family affairs, attracting the attention of the tabloids after her mother, Verlene, passed away. According to her brother, Les, the family became estranged from Amy because of Billy's interference, and they didn't have any contact with her in more than a decade after she moved to Alaska. However, Amy remained adamant about the abuse she suffered at home, claiming that her family could only blame themselves for losing contact with her. In February 2021, news broke of the unfortunate and untimely passing of the Brown family patriarch, Billy, who passed at the age of 68. Initially, the news of Billy's death reached the public through Discovery Channel's coverage, expressing their condolences towards the Brown family and, of course, praising Billy for the years he had been a part of the Discovery family. Bear Brown also expressed his grief on social media, praising his father for being an independent man who lived life on his own terms, and said that Billy will always be remembered in the legacy he left behind. While the circumstances of Billy's death remain obscure and private, it's publicly known that Billy suffered a seizure shortly before succumbing, but the cause of the seizure has never been revealed. Billy's passing came only 3 years following a health scare that happened while filming in 2018. Billy experienced an ordeal that landed him in the hospital, with doctors confirming that he had an upper respiratory infection, which left him in poor condition. Fortunately, the Brown patriarch recovered and was able to move on with life, but it leaves people wondering if this infection might have contributed to Billy's eventual passing. Since then, fans of Alaskan Bush people launched a Facebook support page on which they continue to encourage the Brown family, more specifically Amy, who they fear might have a health setback due to the difficulty of the situation. However, despite the absence of the patriarch, the Brown family continued their journey as a self-sustaining family and as the stars of the reality show. In fact, as Amy claims, Billy remains with them in spirit, driving them to continue with their way of life and to live the dream Billy once inspired the family to follow. In the latest season of the show, the Brown family moved to Washington State, where they are now living and working on their ranch for at least part of the year, expanding the property, including building a new barn for the animals. Thus, it's safe to say that, while the family mourns the death of their father and husband, they certainly won't lie down and allow life to pass them by. While the family might be going through a difficult time, they refuse to give up and quit, keeping up the life Billy inspired them to pursue. To see how the family continues with their daily lives, overcoming difficulties, hardships, and the struggle of self-sustaining living, tune in to catch the 14th season of Alaskan Bush People. For those wondering, while Discovery is yet to make an announcement, it might be safe to assume that the Brown family will be back for a 15th season in 2023, so fans can look forward to it for now. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.